All right, boys and girls, I hope you have your vocab in for lesson 10. We're going to be talking about customary lengths in this one. How can we compare the customary units and compare and convert customary units of length? Okay, customary lengths are what we use in America. The other length or the other unit of measurement is metric. Let's just get started. To build a new swing, Mr. Madison needs 9 feet of rope for each side of the swing, and 16 more feet for the monkey bars. How much does he need? So how many feet does he need for the swing? We got to take 9 times 2, and he has 18, because it said for each side, and there's 2 sides to the swing. How many feet does Mr. Madison need for the swing and the monkey bars combined? Well, that would be 18 plus 6, which would give us 24 feet. Okay, Mr. Madison needs to find how many yards of rope he needs to buy because the hardware store only sells it in yards. He will need to convert 24 feet to yards. How many groups of 3 feet are in 24? Okay, so why did they say 3 feet? Well, because for every yard, is equivalent to 3 feet. 1 yard equals 3 feet. Okay, so if we have how many of this? 12. This would be 24 feet because 12 plus 12 is 24. So we're still not at a yard. So how many feet equal 1 yard? Well, we know, they're still figuring that out. So another one would be 36. So 3 feet equals 1 yard because there's 12 inches there in a foot, 24 is in another foot, and 36 is in the last foot. So use the bar model. Use the bar model to write an equation. So here's our bar model. And we look at it and it says, okay, he needs how many feet? He needs 2 of them. So 24 divided by how many feet are in a yard? By 3. And we get 8. So he needs 8 total yards because he needed 24 feet. And we know that there's 3 feet in a yard. So we had to divide 24 by 3 and we got 8 yards. Okay. So when we convert, we got to divide if we have a larger. So if we have a larger amount and we're trying to figure out the equivalence of a feet, we divide. All right. We're doing the next one, and I'm too far. Here we go. It says, use the table to find the relationship between miles and feet. So if we look here, there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. The distance between the new high school and the football field is 2 miles. How does this distance compare to 10,000 feet? When you convert larger units to smaller units, you multiply. So are we converting a larger unit to a smaller unit? We want to know how in 2 miles, miles are larger than feet, so we're going to multiply. So to convert 2 miles to feet, 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. I need to multiply the total number of miles by 5,280. So we know there's 2 total miles times how many feet are in a mile? 5,280. So right here on the side, I'm going to quick do that. And I get 10,000 10,560. So 2 miles equals 10,560. Okay, scroll down a little more. Compare, write greater or less than or equal to. So the feet we need is, so we got to put 10,560 here, is greater than 10,000 feet. Since 10,560 feet is greater than 10,000, the distance between the new high school and the football field is greater than 10,000. So we wanted to compare the distance between that and the football field. So here's the most important thing to remember. When you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you divide. All right. Convert a mixed measurement. Okay, here we go. Convert mixed measures are use more than one unit of measurement. You can convert a single unit of measurements to a mixed measurements. So we're going to convert inches into feet and inches because it's not going to come out equal. So we're going to have equal number of feet, but some inches left over. So we've got to use this table that's up here. And let's look at this. I am changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit. So what will I do? I will divide. When I go smaller to larger, I divide. When I'm going larger to smaller, I multiply. So I have 62 inches, and divided by how many inches are in each foot? Well, if I look up here, I know there are 12 inches in each foot. So 62 divided by 12. So right here on the side, I'm going to do that. 62 divided by 12. And I know that closest I can get is 5, because 12 times 5 is 60. And I have 2 left over. So the remainder is 2, and those are the 2 inches. This is the feet. So I have how many feet? 5 feet and 2 inches. So 62 inches is equal to 5 feet, 2 inches. Okay, it says, explain how to convert a mixed measurement of 12 yards to feet to a single unit of feet. Well, we have to divide because we're going larger to smaller, or we're changing larger to smaller. So we have 12 yards and we have to multiply it by how many yards are in a foot, because we're going to feet. 3. So that's 6, 36 plus 2 feet. So now I got to add 2 feet onto that, and I would get 38 feet are in 12 yards and 2 feet. Because when I'm going larger to smaller, I multiply. When I'm going smaller to larger, I divide. There's your big, huge thing in converting. Okay. So you're always going to have to keep out this table here because you're going to need that table to do some converting here. So the first one I will do with you, and then the rest I want you to work with your partner. So we are converting 2 miles into yards. So the first thing I'm going to ask myself, am I going larger to smaller or smaller to larger? I am going larger to smaller. Excuse me, when I go larger to smaller, you need to multiply. So there are 2 miles, and how many yards are in each mile? Well, if I look at my graph here, I know there are 1,760. So 1,760 times 2. And as I am working this, I hope you are working yours. And I get 3,520 yards. So really what you have to really look at is, am I going to multiply or am I going to divide and then use my table? So I want you to work on this. I would like you to do 2 and 3 with your partner. Let's do 4 and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those work on with your partner, please. On this page, we are going to skip and come back to it if you have time. Here, I would like you to do the evens. And back here, I would like you to do 1 or 2 and all of the rest. Now, before you stop, I want you to go back and put somewhere in your notes with your definitions, somewhere bold, when I'm going larger units to smaller units, I need to divide. When I'm going smaller units to larger units, when I go larger units to smaller units, I multiply. When I go smaller units to larger units, I divide. So write that down so you always remember that.